the world seemed to freeze, and all that remained was the electric tension in the room. I didn't know what I was doing anymore. Caught in a current of emotions and curiosity I couldn't escape. Ethan stood so close, his presence overwhelming, making it impossible to think clearly. My heart pounded. My palms were sweaty. But I couldn't step back. Couldn't tear my eyes away from him. My name is Claire Morgan. I'm 34 years old, and my marriage has taken an unexpected turn. It all started on a quiet Tuesday evening in our Columbus, Ohio, apartment. My husband, Nathan, came home from work in an unusually upbeat mood. We've been married for 10 years. And like most couples, we'd slipped into a predictable routine: work, dinner, bed. Nothing thrilling. Don't get me wrong, I love Nate. But lately, things between us had grown stale. The passion, the adventure, had faded, leaving us more like roommates than a couple. Nate dropped his keys on the counter and gave me a mischievous smile. "I've been thinking," he began. "Maybe it's time we spiced things up. Tried something different." I raised an eyebrow, half joking, half curious. "Like what?" "I met this couple at work, Lauren and Ethan," he said. "They're a bit unconventional, but great people. They suggested we try a partner swap. You know, something new. What do you think?" I froze, my eyes widening. A partner swap. The idea hit me like a cold slap. My heart raced, my mind struggling to process his words. "Wait, what?" I managed, my voice trembling slightly. "A partner swap," Nate repeated, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. It could be fun, a little experiment. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was he serious? Nate had always been the adventurous one. But this was something else entirely. My stomach churned with a mix of shock and confusion. "What are you talking about?" "Nate," I asked, my voice rising, "you want us to sleep with other people?" "Not like that," he said quickly, stepping closer. "It's just about breaking the routine. Think about it. Lauren and Ethan are cool, and they're into the idea. We could meet them first, get to know them. No pressure." I stood there, stunned, my thoughts a whirlwind. Was he really asking me this? The idea felt so foreign, so wrong, yet a strange curiosity stirred within me. What if it was exciting? What if it could shake things up? "I don't know," I said slowly, my voice uncertain. "Are you sure about this?" Nate's eyes sparkled with anticipation, his excitement palpable. He'd always been the bold one, pushing boundaries, while I was the cautious one, needing time to think things through. But I couldn't deny a part of me was intrigued. "It's just an idea," Nate continued, his tone softer. "We can meet them, see how it feels. No commitment. If it's not right, we walk away. But I think it could be liberating." I couldn't believe this was happening. Nate was serious about being with someone else, about us being with others. It made me uneasy. But maybe this was what we needed. Maybe this could reignite the spark we'd lost. "So, you want me to meet them?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Nate nodded eagerly. "Exactly. Let's meet them. See what happens. We don't have to go through with anything if it doesn't feel right. But I think it could help us." I stood there for a moment, my mind racing. Lauren and Ethan were strangers to me, but the idea of meeting them felt dangerous, thrilling. Was I ready for this? Could I actually go through with it? "Okay," I said finally, my voice barely audible. "We can meet them, but I don't know what happens next." Nate's face lit up with excitement. "It'll be fun. Claire, I promise, we just need to keep an open mind." A sudden wave of nerves surged through me. I wasn't sure I was ready for what was coming. A partner swap. My heart pounded. My palms grew sweaty, but curiosity tugged at me. Maybe this was the adventure we needed. Maybe it could bring our marriage back to life. That night, I couldn't sleep. Thoughts of Lauren and Ethan swirled in my mind like a dark cloud. I imagined Lauren with captivating dark eyes, Ethan with a commanding presence. My body tensed as I wondered what they'd be like. Would they be attractive? Could I handle this? And what about Nate? Was this just physical attraction for him? Or was he exploring something deeper? Was he bored with me? I sighed, tossing and turning, but sleep wouldn't come. The day of the meeting, Nate and I spent the morning preparing, both of us a bundle of nerves. The idea of meeting Lauren and Ethan felt too real, and I couldn't shake the unease settling in my stomach. I tried to stay calm, telling myself it was just a conversation. But I knew it was more than that. It was the unknown, the uncertainty of what might happen if we crossed that line. Nate, as usual, was buzzing with excitement, his confidence shining through. "You look great." "Claire," he said, running his fingers through my hair. "This is going to be amazing. Trust me." I tried to smile, though my mind was elsewhere. I hadn't decided if I wanted to go through with the swap, but backing out now felt awkward. Besides, Nate had put so much energy into this, and part of me, the adventurous part, wanted to see what it was all about. "Thanks," I said softly, pulling on my jacket and checking myself in the mirror. I didn't look bad, despite my sweaty hands and racing heart. The drive to their place was strangely quiet. Columbus's streets were busy, filled with people going about their day. But to me, everything felt off. Like I was in a dream I didn't fully understand. Nate kept glancing at me, his smile unwavering. But he could sense my anxiety. "It's going to be fine." He reassured me. "We'll meet them first. No pressure. If you're not comfortable, we leave, simple as that." His words were meant to calm me, but they only made me more nervous. What if I wasn't comfortable? What if I didn't like them or liked them too much? Time slipped away until we pulled up to a sleek, modern apartment building. Its tall windows and contemporary design were impressive, adding to my nerves. "You ready?" Nate asked, his face brimming with excitement. I nodded, though my heart felt like it might leap out of my throat. We walked to the door together, and when it opened, I was struck by how warmly Lauren and Ethan greeted us. Lauren was tall, with smooth, dark skin that glowed under the apartment's soft lighting. Her smile was warm, her eyes confident. "Welcome," she said, stepping aside to let us in. "We're so glad you could make it." I smiled awkwardly, trying to hide my discomfort. Ethan stood beside her, a tall, muscular man with a commanding presence. His eyes lingered on me, their intensity catching my breath. "I'm Ethan," he said, shaking Nate's hand first. "Great to meet you." The handshake was firm, and I noticed an immediate chemistry between Nate and Ethan, their banter flowing easily. I wasn't sure what to expect, but something about Lauren and Ethan made me feel out of my element. They were so confident, so at ease with themselves. Lauren turned to me, her eyes scanning me with curiosity. "So, Claire," she said, her voice warm but bold. "Tell me about yourself. What do you do for fun?" Her question caught me off guard. It had been a while since anyone asked what I enjoyed. I realized I'd spent so much time focused on Nate and our routine that I'd forgotten what I wanted. "I don't know," I replied hesitantly. "I guess I like reading, designing, relaxing. I haven't done much exciting lately." Lauren nodded, as if she understood exactly what I meant. "Life can get pretty mundane," she said. "That's why we're here. Right to break free, to experience something different." Her words resonated with me. That was why I was here, to break the monotony. Ethan stepped in, his presence commanding yet warm. "So, what's your story?" "Claire," he asked, his voice low and smooth. "What made you and Nate consider something like this?" I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "Nate suggested it," I said. "He thought it might bring some excitement back to our relationship. I don't know, I guess I'm curious too." Ethan smiled, his eyes locking with mine, making my heart race. There's something appealing about trying new things, finding new connections, he said softly. I swallowed hard, feeling a strange warmth inside me. I glanced at Nate, who was smiling at Ethan, clearly at ease. Then Lauren turned to me again. "You okay?" she asked, her voice gentler now. "If you're not sure, we can just talk. No rush." I nodded, though my pulse quickened. This wasn't just talking anymore, it was becoming real. As the night went on, the conversation grew more intense. Nate and Lauren hit it off, their banter casual, but laced with something deeper. Ethan and I were quieter, but a magnetic pull between us was undeniable. Every time I glanced at him, something stirred inside me, something raw, untamed. I tried to ignore it, reminding myself this was just a casual meeting, but the tension was palpable. The clock ticked on, and the mood shifted. Nate and Lauren were laughing over some inside joke, while Ethan and I sat in a silence that wasn't uncomfortable but charged with understanding. His eyes never left mine, and each time our gazes met, the air thickened. "So, Claire," Ethan said, his voice soft and low, "do you ever feel stuck in the same old routine? Like life's too predictable?" His question caught me off guard. "I guess so," I said, my voice trembling slightly. "We've been together a long time, and sometimes it feels like we're just going through the motions, like we're missing something." Ethan nodded, his dark eyes intense. "I get that. Life should be more than just going through the motions. It should be about feeling alive, feeling connected." The way he said connected sent a shiver through me. It wasn't just a word, it was a promise, an invitation. I swallowed hard, trying to push the thoughts away. I glanced at Nate and Lauren, deep in conversation by the window. The room's energy felt different now, and I stood on the edge of something, unsure if I wanted to or could jump. "So, what do you want?" Claire Ethan asked, breaking the silence again. "Really?" I hesitated. What did I want? This night had gone beyond what I'd expected, and the chemistry between us was undeniable. But was I ready? I'm not sure. I admitted, my voice barely a whisper. "I guess I'm looking for something new, something exciting, something I haven't felt in a long time. Ethan's smile was slow, almost predatory, but not threatening, just knowing. He stood and stepped closer, his movements smooth and deliberate. My breath caught as he approached, the room seeming to shrink until it was just the two of us. "I think we're on the same page." "Claire," he said, his voice a soft whisper. "I think you want more than just a night of small talk." His fingers lingered on my arm, sending warmth through me. For a moment, I froze, unsure what to do. But something inside me stirred not just curiosity anymore, but temptation, too strong to ignore. Before I could say anything, Nate and Lauren approached, their conversation interrupted by the shift in the room's energy. Nate's eyes met mine, a knowing look crossing his face. He'd seen it, felt it the moment everything started to change. "How's everything going over here?" Lauren asked, her eyes darting between Ethan and me, her tone teasing but inviting. I could barely answer. My thoughts foggy, my body betraying me in unexpected ways. Nate cleared his throat, his voice casual but curious. "Everything's great," he said, his eyes still on me. "We're just talking, getting to know each other." Lauren raised an eyebrow, clearly sensing the tension. "Good to hear," she said, her voice playful yet suggestive. "We're all about getting to know each other here, aren't we?" The way she said it sent a shiver through me. There was something so open, so free about them, something that made me want to be part of it. "I think it's time we take this to the next level," Ethan said suddenly, his voice low and commanding, making my heart race. Was I ready? Was this the moment everything would change? Nate looked at me, his eyes searching for reassurance, but I wasn't sure what I wanted anymore. The tension was overwhelming, pulsing through every fibre of my being. As Ethan stepped closer, his hand brushing mine, I didn't pull away. I let it linger, feeling the warmth of his touch seep into my skin. It was an unspoken agreement, a silent acknowledgement of what was about to happen. The world around us faded, and I didn't know what choice I'd make, or if I'd pull back. Would Nate be okay with this? Would this night change everything for all of us? The moment hung in the air like a fragile thread, stretched tight. Ethan's presence was overwhelming. My heart pounding, my palms sweaty, but I couldn't step back, couldn't look away. Nate and Lauren watched us, their eyes dancing with curiosity and silent acceptance. This was part of the game, part of the deal. "You want to feel alive, Claire," Ethan said softly, his words wrapping around me like a promise. "This is how you do it. Step out of the ordinary. Embrace something you've never known." I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, staring into the unknown. My mind screamed to stop, to pull back before it was too late. But my body didn't listen. "Are you sure?" I whispered, my voice trembling. Ethan smiled, slow and deliberate, leaning closer, his breath warm against my ear. "I'm sure. Claire," he said, "and so are you." Before I could respond, Nate stepped forward, his hand on Lauren's back, his eyes locked on me. His expression was calm, but his eyes burned with intensity. There was something so open, so accepting about the way they looked at me. "We're all here for the same reason." "Right," Nate said, his voice soft and confident. No pressure, just freedom to explore, no strings attached. In that moment, I realized this wasn't just about swapping partners or pushing boundaries. It was about trust that whatever happened next, we'd walk away without regret or shame. I turned to Ethan, my heart pounding. "I'm ready," I said, unsure if I was saying it for him or myself. Ethan didn't need more confirmation. His hand gently cupped my cheek, and his lips met mine in a kiss that wasn't experimental. It was urgent, passionate, making my pulse race. I kissed him back, my body responding as if it had been waiting for this moment. Behind us, I could hear Nate and Lauren's voices lower, but I couldn't focus on them. All that mattered was Ethan's hands, his lips, the way he made me forget everything but the heat between us. His fingers slid down my neck, tracing my collarbone, and I gasped against his lips. His touch was electric, and as much as I tried to stay composed, I was being pulled deeper into the current. I wanted this. I wanted him. Then, as quickly as it began, Ethan pulled back, his eyes searching mine, ensuring I was still there. "You sure?" he asked again, his voice a gentle whisper, laced with care. "I'm sure," I whispered, nodding. Ethan glanced at Nate and Lauren, a silent understanding passing between the four of us. No more words were needed. The tension had built to a point where silence spoke louder than anything we could say. Nate and Lauren moved closer, and I couldn't help but watch, captivated by their ease, their chemistry undeniable. Then, just like that, we moved together, Ethan, Nate, Lauren, and me, all four of us in a shared space, ready to cross the final threshold. I felt the warmth of Ethan's body against mine, his hands knowing exactly where to touch, making me forget everything but the need burning between us. Lauren's breath was warm against my neck, sending shivers through me. Nate's hand grazed my waist, his touch gentle but firm, pulling me closer. I didn't pull away. I let him kiss my shoulder, his lips soft but demanding. My body came alive with a hunger I didn't know I possessed. Ethan moved behind me, his hands gripping my hips, possessive yet gentle. I felt the weight of his presence, the way his body pressed against mine. There was no turning back, but somehow I didn't want to. The air was thick with desire, anticipation, and as the night unfolded, I realized how far I was willing to go. I wanted this. I wanted them. As the night blurred on, I felt the boundaries of my world stretch and bend, lying there, wrapped in sheets, my body still tingling from what had happened. The air carried the scent of sweat, skin, and something deeper. I'd stepped into the unknown, crossed a line I never thought I'd approach, and there was no going back. Ethan was beside me, his arm draped over my waist, but his touch felt distant. I turned to look at him, and for the first time, I saw uncertainty in his eyes, not jealousy or anger, but doubt. Across the bed, Nate and Lauren lay close, whispering and smiling, their small touches natural, unshaken by the night. I was drowning in a sea of emotions, unsure which would pull me under. Slipping from Ethan's arm, I grabbed my robe from the floor and stepped into the hallway. The cool air hit my skin, making me shiver. I wrapped the robe tighter and walked downstairs, my thoughts racing. Had I made a mistake? It wasn't regret twisting my gut. It was the realization that I wasn't the same woman who'd entered this arrangement. thinking it was just a thrill to rekindle a fading marriage. Something had changed inside me. And a big part of that change was Nate. A wave of guilt crashed over me. This was supposed to be one night, an experience, nothing more. But the way Nate had looked at me, touched me, didn't feel temporary. It didn't feel like a swap we could all walk away from. "You okay?" Nate's voice pulled me from my thoughts. He leaned against the doorway, wearing only boxers. His toned chest catching the dim kitchen light. He looked at ease, but his eyes studied me carefully. "I don't know," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. He nodded slowly and stepped closer. "Talk to me." I let out a shaky laugh. "I don't even know where to start." Nate tilted his head, studying me. "I'm guessing you're not sure if this was just for tonight." His words hit like a bolt of lightning. He knew he felt it too. "I don't know what to do," I admitted. Nate hesitated for a second before stepping closer, his hand brushing my arm, the touch deliberate yet gentle. "Then let's figure it out together," he said. I swallowed hard. "What about Lauren? What about Ethan?" Nate sighed, his eyes flickering with something I couldn't name. "Lauren and I have been open for a while. We care about each other. But we both know when something real happens." His fingers traced patterns on my arm. "Claire, is this real for you?" His question hung heavy, like a thick fog. My heart pounded as I searched for an answer. Then I realized I knew. "Yes," I said before I could stop myself. Movement at the top of the stairs made me freeze. Ethan stood there, his face unreadable, his eyes flicking between me and Nate. My stomach twisted into knots. "Ethan," I started, stepping toward him. But he raised a hand to stop me. "I know," he said, his voice flat. "I saw the way you looked at him." His lips pressed into a thin line. "I just didn't want to believe it." My throat tightened. "Ethan, it's not." He cut me off, his hands clenching at his sides, his voice eerily calm. I told myself this was just a fun game, but deep down, I knew you'd find something in him you stopped seeing in me. I shook my head, guilt clawing at my chest. "It's not that simple." He let out a bitter laugh. "Isn't it?" He turned to Nate, his expression unreadable. "Do you love my wife?" Nate didn't answer right away, his voice steady when he did. "I don't know. But I know I don't want this to be the last time I see her." Ethan exhaled sharply, as if the words had struck him. He nodded, running a hand through his hair. "That makes one of us," he muttered. My heart sank. "Ethan," I said, my voice breaking. I think we both know where this is going." He interrupted, his voice firm. "I just wish I'd seen it coming sooner." I wanted to deny it, to take back the night and rewrite it so no one got hurt. But I couldn't. This wasn't just a reckless night of passion, it was about us. Ethan sighed and shook his head. "I need some space," he said. "I'll pack a bag in the morning." His words stole the air from my lungs. "What?" He looked at me then, and for the first time in years, I saw clarity in his eyes. "I think this marriage was over long before tonight," he admitted. "I just didn't want to see it." Tears burned my eyes. "Ethan, I think we both deserve the truth," he whispered. "And the truth is, you don't want me anymore." His words shattered something deep inside me. I wanted to tell him he was wrong, that I still cared, that I still loved him in some way. But love wasn't enough, not the way we needed it to be. Nate stood beside me, silent but steady, his presence a quiet understanding. Ethan ran a hand through his hair and turned to go upstairs, but not before glancing at me one last time. "I hope he's worth it," he said softly, then walked away. The silence between Nate and me was heavy. I felt like I should say something, apologize, cry, explain, but no words came. Deep down, I knew Ethan was right. I'd made my choice. Nate's hand found mine, his grip warm and reassuring. He didn't speak, but he didn't need to. The night had started as an experiment, a dangerous game of temptation, but it ended with something real, something I wasn't ready to let go of. As I looked up at Nate, I realized that maybe, just maybe, I'd never had to. Thank you for reading my story. It's raw, complicated, and deeply human, and I hope it resonates with you in some way.